Hi, my name's Ahren Buchheister. I'm a producer and musician in Annapolis, Maryland, and I recorded and produced the song Tommy is My First Best Friend. This is like an epic song of Lee Chapman's. A lot of his songs are wild, but this one is especially wild. It's pretty long, it's got lots of sections. When he sent it to me, I immediately got a vision in my brain of what I wanted the song to be, and in my mind it had, horns on it, and I think this turned out pretty much exactly how I hoped it would. So we recorded this song in the time of COVID-19 pandemic quarantine. So pretty much most of the musicians on this recorded at their own home studios and sent me tracks, and we did a lot of songs on this record this way. It's not the best way to record a record, but making do with what we could at the time, and I think it turned out pretty great, all things considered. So it started with sending the rough track of just Lee's vocal and guitar to my friend Ellie, who played drums on this and recorded drums from his home studio in Tacoma Park. I met him playing on a Patsy Cline musical gig when I was playing pedal steel. He was playing drums, and we just kept in touch. He did an incredible job on it. It really brought the song to life. I know I say that all the time, but it's true. And then we liked that, so we sent it to my friend Mark Schatz, who is an incredible upright bass player and multi-instrumentalist, banjo, dancing. He's an incredibly accomplished musician, and he's played with all of the bluegrass greats. But he also, I wasn't sure if he played this kind of jazzy thing, so I sent it to him and said, "Hey, do you think you could do this?" He said, "Oh yeah," and he sent back a track that was just killer. Next, I sent the track to my friend Seth Keibel, and he's just an incredible clarinet player, also plays flute and saxophone, and he sent back this wild clarinet part, which is exactly what I expected. Seth has a party trick that he does at shows where the band vamps on a chord, and he will start playing his clarinet and start wandering out into the audience, and then he'll take off the bell and hand it to an audience member, and then his range is limited and keeps playing the solo and keeps walking through the crowd and takes off the next piece of his clarinet, hands it to another audience member, and he's got 5 notes, then takes off the last piece, hands it to another audience member until he just has his mouthpiece and the band's still going, and he's still just crushing a solo, because Seth is just full of musical personality, even with one note. So that was really incredible to get that part back from Seth. And then I think the next thing that happened was I recorded guitar on this. So Lee originally played the scratch guitar and kind of mostly just chords, and I kind of had a vision in my head of an archtop guitar kind of part. And usually when you're playing with other musicians, you get to riff off of each other, you get to, experience what they're playing and react to it in the moment. But with this, it's very different because people have laid their parts. So I tried to react as much to Seth's playing as much as I could, and I think that turned out really great. I borrowed a really cool archtop guitar from my friend Gary, because I don't own one as much as I want one. And yeah, I played some chordal sections, some sections I doubled Seth's lines or played harmonies with him. And it took a long time. I think I spent over 300 separate punch-ins to get it right, but a lot of that time is exploring. And in these situations, it's kind of like being put into a box where your creativity, you have to fit inside the lines of where other people have colored. So when you're the first person to play on a recording, the canvas is wide open and you can do anything. and everyone else has to react to you. You set the tone. But when you're last to record, you have to find the little spaces that aren't taken and find how to not step on other people's toes musically. And so that's often where I'm at with these remote productions. And it's fun. It's a challenge. It's like a puzzle. It's embarrassing to say that I took 300 punch-ins to get this right. But often it's just the time writing the parts. And by the time I've written the part and I know what I want, 1 or 2 takes to actually play it. But then lots of these little parts. So then the last piece of this puzzle for me was recording the horns. So I enlisted my friends Mike Noonan, who's a great multi-instrumentalist, to come and play trombone, and Tim Stanley to come play trumpet. And this was still during the time of COVID quarantine, so we had a socially distant recording session where I actually set them up in this room, and I set up my monitoring station in another room on the other side of the building. We didn't even see each other. They'd been here before, so they knew how to let themselves in, and I had microphones all set up and headphones set up and a talkback microphone. So they got here and I talked back, they could hear me on the speaker, and I said, all right, put your headphones on. And it's a blast working with those guys. I didn't have to write out charts. I just gave them chord charts, and then every couple measures I said, all right guys, let's try a line like this, and sang it to them, and we would kind of all figure out the parts between the three of us. And they're great at me asking them to change something, revoice something. Oh, Tim, Mike, can you switch voicings? And they go, okay. What are you playing? Okay. Oh, I'm in B flat transposition. Okay, hold on. And again, one of the funny things was I had them each on their own ribbon mic, and Mike Noonan was also there to record Wurlitzer for someone else that day. So I had a microphone set up on the speaker on the Wurlitzer, and I had it recording anyways, just a Shure SM7B. And then when I was mixing this song, I went, man, I wish I had a room mic for the horns. I went, oh, I do. And even though it's not pointing at the horns at all, it was pointing away from the horns at a hard surface, it turned out to be a very useful microphone capture. It really helped me mix this song. And then we did basically the same idea with Lee. He's come over a few times during the COVID-19 quarantine, where we've had socially distant recording sessions where I set up a vocal booth in here and some headphones and a talkback speaker, and I go into another room far away and we don't even see each other, and just lets himself in and we record vocals. So we've done that a couple times, and he did that for this song, and I'm just so honored that Lee would let me work on a song that he wrote in 1976, and we're finally producing, and we produced in the year 2020. It's just so neat. I've got songs that are edging up on 13 years old now that I've got to finish too, so hopefully I won't take as long as Lee took on this song. But it's incredible. The lyrics are so funny. My girlfriend listens to the song, and we just quote lines back and forth to each other. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's great.